issue with the man that said his name was Quadger. I told him that the issue is that doesn't make sense. The issue is, well, everybody that has access to planes and can fly and is a pilot and their families are pilots, they get discounts, so they can fly and do all this for a relatively fair and cheap price. But then you get somebody that has had nothing their whole life, has been underprivileged their whole life, and then you're going to tell them that have the capabilities and the abilities to actually go out of the airport and talk to people and make friends and do all this other stuff. They're going to tell them that in order to do that, you're going to have to spend $1,500 on a plane ticket, and you don't even have a passport, and we can turn you down before it. We don't like you, we can turn you down. We don't like where you come from, we can turn you down. We don't like your unique name, we can turn you down. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense that they would tell me to print out an itinerary, and you guys are saying, yeah, this is what you should do. You should print out an itinerary, pay for a ticket, and then go to the passport processing center and say, this is why you need your passport. And there's not a guarantee there. See, this is the issue. It's a monopoly. You know what a monopoly is?
Yes, sir.
This is the issue. It's a big issue because kids in other parts of this country don't have access to the information that the federal government has. It's not fair. It's not fair at all. Then this creates a bigger monopoly because everybody with access to planes and their families are pilots, everybody that has that access can fly and get information and have these extravagant businesses in other places of the world and other places of the country, but the individual that has a mom and pop shop can't do that, and it's going to shut down because of all this. That doesn't make sense. That's not fair. Now you guys are telling me stories. That's not fair to me. You guys telling me these lies about your names, you know, I don't know. If you're protecting yourself, that's one thing, but I'm not your enemy, and I'm going to tell you the truth about it. When I'm doing all this, okay, I'm filling out the form, and I see this, and I pay this bill off, and all this stuff behind the scenes, and I get punished for it, I don't like it. That's not correct behavior. I don't like when you guys are saying fake names and then you have fake actions after it or immoral actions. That's not appropriate. When you guys are using fake names, that is only for defensive measures. It's never an offense. Meaning, an offensive measure is going to mean some attack in some way, whether it be a verbal or spiritual attack. When I say spiritual, this is what it means. It means you guys are having inappropriate behavior, you don't really care that much, and you're abusing your power. And then there is no justifiability or accountability there because you're using fake names. You have no accountability because you're using a fake name, and then you had an act of immoral actions. That's like just punching somebody in the face and not having any. You're not responsible. You can go around punching everybody in the face, and no, you're never going to get caught. That's real action. that can really happen. All these paper doesn't matter. Is that clear? That's the point I'm trying to make. These little things doesn't really matter. I'll go over them and I'll look and I'll say, yeah, this, that, and that, the other thing, so you guys can't say this, that, and the other thing about me as a person, and protect myself and protect my occupation or whatever I choose to do. But that type of behavior of you guys using fake names and then having inappropriate behavior and immoral behavior after it is not proper. Okay? That's all that I'm saying. It's frustrating to me because you could sacrifice for the United States of America and you could be the best operative, unbeknownst to anybody. It doesn't matter. There is no standards there. There is no standards, and there is no judges there either. That's not making sense because it's more than a job. It's a lifestyle. If you spent 10 years to learn something, if you spent 10 years to learn a certain skill set, you would say, well, that individual is learning this skill set for what? Well, we're not going to do all that, but we're the judges and we're the gatekeepers. Yeah, you got those too. Maybe I call you a gatekeeper. Literally, you got two of those. So that's the whole thing about this is when you guys get all this whacked out stuff and you start saying inappropriate stuff and you're using your names not as a mean of protection, but as an offensive mean to abuse and corrupt people, that's not correct behavior. It's a defensive measure. It's a block. That's all it's used for. So don't. If I went to school and I said my name was a different name than my name was actually, and they said no, you can't do it. But I wasn't trying to steal money. I didn't file anything, and they just didn't like me not using my real name. That, in essence, would be what you guys are doing. You're not being offensive with it, but if you just wanted to go there and just sit, so all you would do is go there and sit and move your hand just like, like little increments. Go there and sit and move your hand, little increments. Maybe speak a little bit. What is this? What is this? Like, come on. That was crazy. Don't tell me this don't tell me this system I care about, this United States I care about, it's a good system, but I don't like when you guys are doing this and then you write papers that I didn't write. This report is bogus. And you put that in there. Whoever did it. Now, that wasn't correct. And then just turning your back on me and saying crazy stuff about me. How is that correct? Now, you get this paper here. The United States Department of State. I paid this off. I'm done with this. This is getting burnt. Okay? I'm going to fill this out. And I'm going to pay for it in cash. With the expedited fee. I don't want you guys messing with my family. Okay? This is what I do not want to happen. I don't want you messing with my family. I don't want you messing with my niece and nephew and my brother-in-law and my sister. Okay? I don't want that. I don't want you guys messing with any of my family. And I don't want you using your lying names as an evil offense. Okay? Because that's the issue, is you guys are standard. I don't want you doing that, because you as a human being, you as an individual have a responsibility to yourself first. Yourself comes first, and then the other people in your life, because you're an influence in their life. Either you can be a good influence, or you cannot be present, or you can be a bad influence. So whatever you're going to do, you want to be a good influence. I hope you are getting your nutrition today. I hope you're getting your nutrition, and this is helping you. That's my only intent. My intent is not to annoy you and be unfair to you and treat you unkind and treat you unjust. That is never my intent. So, I know you don't want to live in some hut. I know you wouldn't want to live in some hut in the middle of winter for, like 4 months or 5 months or a few months in Chicago or the outskirts of Chicago and not have a car. And then have to walk in your tennis shoes where your socks get wet. And when you finally get a car and you need some work done, they don't want to do the work to it. They're not going to work on your car. Even though you can pay them for it, they don't want to work on your car. Or you go around and you try to get apartments, but they're following you around and telling you can't get an apartment. Or they're calling places, telling you can't do things. Now that is oppression. That is racism. That's everything against the United States. Why has it been happening? Or block your Facebook, or put pictures of the Capitol on your Facebook, and you know that the Capitol Police wear Kevlar and they have guns and they're there all the time. What is this? Is this report coinciding with that? Is this coinciding with that? Because that's not real. That's not real at all. That's not fair to me. It hasn't been fair for a very long time. Life's not fair. If you're underprivileged from the time you were a child, odds are you may be underprivileged when you're an adult. Meaning you're not gonna have the information to take you out of a situation. You're not gonna have access to information. You're not gonna know how to use your mind in certain ways, in certain fashions, to work for agencies like the FBI, to work for agencies like to work for places that require some sort of intellectual development. It's called breaking through chains. That's one word to put it. It's just not fair. So it's just like I don't know what else to say to you. I don't know what else to say to you. This is what I'm saying, and I'm going to fill this out and pay this bill. I'm asking you guys that are running ComSec S1 through S9, you know that this is all cleared up. Let's not have any issues. I'm sorry about those pictures, but on the other side of that, there was other things happening I'm not going to mention. It wasn't fair in the beginning, and I never had a choice about my name. I never had a choice about 9/11, and it's not fair. Okay? It's not fair. I did some unique stuff in my life. I did things that other people wouldn't do or can't do or don't want to do, or they think it's too violent and they think it's too extreme, da-da-da-da-da-da. Anyways, these events, some of these things should be proof about my allegiance, about my alliance, about my devotion to the United States of America. I'm only going to say this once, and I'm not going to say it again. And I will fight for the United States. I'm a statesman, and I have been a statesman, and I have been a patriot my whole life. And you can go down to where I was raised and the school that I came from, and this, that, the other thing. So it's just not fair. It's just not fair. Okay? People have called me a corn-fed country boy, farm boy before, and that's what I was, and that's what I am. But I am not a prostitute. I am not a child molester. I am not a fornicator. I am not a thief. And I am certainly and most definitely not a criminal, and I don't want to be a criminal. So I have been a good influence to children in this community. I have been a good influence to middle-aged teens in other communities, in inner city communities, and so on and so forth. Okay? When you guys use fake names and you start telling all this propaganda and all this stuff, and people start believing it, that's when you should back off and say, well, you know, we weren't serious, we're sorry, and there needs to be repercussions, and the word count needs to be there, because if someone's putting all this bad stuff on you and then only trying to repair you with one or two words, that's not fair either. That's not fair to the individual. I don't condone a lot of things that are legal in this country, and I'm not for this propagated, this stuff that I'm reading on my Facebook, whatever. So I'm going to fill this out, and I'm going to pay for it with cash, and I don't want any repercussions. I really want you, whatever your name is, your agency, your people, your colleagues, your coworkers, to have a good day. Whatever, but like I said before, even if I didn't state all my information on the phone, obviously they could get that information very easily. ComSec could get it, and everybody else, all the authority figures could get it. Let's not play this. So, whatever. I'm a single male. I like single women, but the questions like, you know, were you married? Are you divorced? What are you guys going to go do? Talk to my ex-wife about me? Hello?
No, sir.
You're not going to...
They're just verifying information. That's all in regards to applying for the passport.
Are you in the Army?
No, sir, I'm not.
Where are you located at?
We are located on the East Coast.
I'm not on the East Coast. I'm not on the East Coast, but you're on the East Coast. You're saying you're on the East Coast.
Yes, sir.
I am not located on the East Coast. Although I've been to the East Coast many times. And I've been to the West Coast. And I've been to Florida. And I've been to Texas. But I don't need a mother and a woman that certainly doesn't want any natural relationships with me. If there was no words, no words being said. So, it doesn't matter. No words being said, that would be a very simple thing. So, after I fill this out, what do I do? Should I take a copy for my own records?
You can take a copy of your own records. You would go to an acceptance facility such as the post office.
And then what?
That's where they will go over the information that you have, and they will send it off for processing.
And how long is that going to take if I pay the expedited fee?
It takes approximately 4 to 6 weeks to process.
And then what happens?
Once the application is completed, they will send it right back to you with your new passport.
They would, or is that going to happen?
Yes, as long as all your application and documents are sufficient for passport purposes.
What is Family Bible Record?
Is that on the application?
Yeah, it's on. If you turn to page 2 and you look down, it reads, there's these dots. And the dots are pretty big. It's 1, 2, 3 dots. Then it reads Family Bible Records. tree, is that it?
No, sir.
It's a huge, huge book that says that I'm related to Abraham Lincoln.
Sir, we don't see that on the application.
The book, well, you guys are saying, well, what's your heritage? It reads here, Berry and Hasty Descendants. Carl Lee Berry, 1993. It's a family book. And it says the descendants of Joseph and Sarah Schaefer, Berry and James and Sarah Coombe Hasty.
I understand that, sir. I'm just wondering in regards to the application. Do you have any other questions on the application?
Oh, well, I don't know. Even if I was to get whatever in my business and do as my father did, which is fine, which is good for me, this book right here, there is no ISBN, and it has my mother's name, my dear mother. She had some fire inside her. She was a strong lady, despite her mishaps and things I did. It says Teresa Rose Shaner Khan Martins, and she wrote it. Just like she wrote on that plane ticket, that recreation loan, she wrote on that recreation loan, it looked batshit crazy. If you look here, it reads Abraham and Mary Todd Lincoln, Sarah Coombe Hasty, wife of James Hasty, is a first cousin to Abraham Lincoln, and is sustained by a personal letter from Lincoln to his relatives. The Lincoln Kinsman, number 42, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 1941. Thus, all the descendants of James and Sarah Coombe Hasty are first cousins to Abraham Lincoln, a bet several generations removed. The above photograph, allegedly of the first time to ever be published, is in possessions of the Hasty family.
Okay, sir. In regards to this, if you don't have any other further questions in regards to the application, I will have to move on to another caller.
Do you guys want this? I mean, this would be considered, would it not, early census, school, medical, or family Bible record. This would be a family Bible record, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it be a family Bible record?
I wouldn't be for sure in regards to if that's what type of documents they would need.
Do you think I found it out? Great, my name's in here. My name's at 82, but they spelled it with two Z's and they didn't use one. Does that mean you try to guilt trip me?
No, sir. In regards to the application, if you have any other questions on the application form, I can further assist you. If not, I will have to move on to another caller.
Okay, so, after I finish this, where do I get my, picture taken?
You can take it at a local acceptance facility such as the post office.
It's not, I don't know what page my name is on, but it's in here. So do you want a copy of this too to make sure that I'm a U.S. citizen and you know where I came from? Or no? You don't want to see it?
No, sir. They're going to want a certified copy of the birth certificate.
No, I don't have a birth certificate. I was in the Army for 4 years. Hello?
Okay.
So what?
In regards to the application, that's just a requirement.
So I can't fill this out without a birth certificate?
Correct. You would have to submit in the birth certificate.
So how did I get the passport the first time?
Which document did you submit in?
What?
Which
No.
document?
I just used my military identification.
Okay, and for the military, that's your identification.
Okay, so you're saying that I can't fill this out?
You can fill it out. You would just have to provide documentation as in,
Well, this says family Bible records. What if one of you guys says you don't want to fill it out correctly? Or just doesn't like me? just don't like where I came from, or they just want to disrespect me, or they just don't like my name.
Sir, they wouldn't do that. It's just in regards to
Who is they?
the agency. Agents that would process the application would go over the information. If they have any additional questions, they will contact you once you apply.
Yeah, but that FBI guy spelled my name wrong once.
I don't know who you're referring to, but if there's not any other additional information I can provide you,
What is it? Why did the FBI spell my name wrong?
I'm not sure, sir, in regards of that information. We are just the information center for passports.
Okay, if no birth record exists, submit a register notice. Also submit combined evidence below, which should include your given name, your surname, your place of birth, and a seal. Other than certification office is customary and signature issue. And it says early census, school, medical, or family Bible records. This would be a family Bible record.
Okay, so you could submit that in, or you could do a census record as well.
Do you have one of these? So you're saying the passport won't work for this?
Damaged.
What?
Because the passport's damaged.
Okay, but you don't want to accept it.
Sir, in regards to the documents, it would have to be in good condition for them to use that document.
It is in pretty good condition. You can see everything.
So it's not damaged then.
It has 2 holes that they punched in it.
Okay, that's just invalidating it. They just invalidate it.
Okay, so what is it then?
So if it's in good condition, you can use that for citizenship if you don't have the birth certificate. But if it is...
My birth certificate is in California. I'm not going to go all the way to California so everybody can laugh at me and make fun of me, and then I'm in the room by Silverado Country Club where you guys are, where they bug me. Why would I want that? It's annoying. It's annoying, it's disrespectful, and there's possibly an IR monitor on there. So why would I want that? I don't like it.
Okay, sir, I can give you the number to the Vital Records office. You wouldn't have to go to California to go get it.
I don't want to do all this. It's not you guys aren't making sense again. You're not making sense again. Okay? You're not making sense again. If I had this passport, then that's my identification. Okay? You're saying you're telling me before your agents were telling me to go to New Hampshire. Yeah, just go to New Hampshire and pick it up. Well, okay. Then I'm going to be walking, and then you're going to say, no. I don't like that either. That's not fair to me. And I don't think you would like it, whatever your name is. You wouldn't like it either. Have you ever been homeless?
No, sir.
You don't know what it's like, then. I mean, I don't like that. Why were they telling me all this stuff about this passport for a long time? Why were they saying all that?
I'm not for sure, sir.
Okay, I'm sure. I don't want to be here no more. In the United States. I find it more intellectually fulfilling in a different country. I've been oppressed to the point where they're not letting me get an apartment. I have enough money. I have the money. Ready? No, we're not going to let you get an apartment. Okay? I tried to date women on my Facebook. No, we're not going to let you date women on your Facebook. There's no gyms open. I tried to go to the gym, and no gyms open. I tried to go to the dojo. Nope, no dojo open. I go to another place, and there's a whole bunch of bad stuff going on. And I'm wondering why I'm not getting involved with it, because there's a whole bunch of things I don't agree with that are going on. So, I'm frustrated because I've sacrificed the best that I could with the tools that were given, and I don't feel that this has been fair to me. Everybody makes fun of me. They point at me. They call me nasty names. Why would I like that? Now I have this record here, this blue book, this record, that's a early biblical book of my genealogy, and you guys saying you're not going to accept it. How's that fair to me? And I'm not a criminal either. I'm not a felon. What?
I do understand in regards of you being you're frustrated in the information. All I have is a general information to provide you in regards to the application. Any type of document that is sent to the agency, if they accept it, they would continue on in the process of the application. If they do not accept
So
it,
what happened to that money that I already paid? That $193.
that was non-refundable. It was only for in regards to...
Where did it go to, though?
I'm not for sure, sir.
Where does that money go to?
It goes through the Department of State.
Okay, but where did it go to exactly? What account does that go into?
Sir, I don't have that information.
How are you guys bringing in revenue to the United States?
Sir, I've provided all the information that I have in regards of the information center.
I know, but before there was no information center and there was no issue. So then it's like, well, you guys say, well, let's talk. Well, then there's manifestations of issues then. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do understand, sir, but in regards to the
So, like, what is this? In regards to this, there's a Bible. You're saying that you're not going to accept one of these things here. And that thing is Family Bible Records. A Family Bible Record. I have a Family Bible Record. Family Bible Record. Genesis, genealogy. Let's say that's the same thing as this, isn't it? Oh.
I understand in regards to the information that you have, you would just have to submit it in to the agency to see if they will accept it.
Do you want to accept it? Do you want to accept? You have to accept it. Don't do that. You have to accept it. Do you want to accept it? If you guys are just being, if you're just being so spoiled, so naive, no, we don't want to, then obviously you won't. But if you're open, yeah, okay, he's cool, he's good. He has a lot of experience. He's already did this. He's been through it. He knows it. Yeah, this is okay. That makes sense. But if you guys are just like, no, that's not correct either. Accept it. You have to accept it.
Sir, I do not make those final decisions when you submit in the application.
Well, let's say you don't like me, then they're not going to accept it. Let's say they just don't like me.
Sir, in regards to the application, you're just going to have to submit in the application with all documentation. If there's not any other further questions in regards to applying for an application, I would have to move on to another caller.
Why did you talk to me for so long? We've been talking for a long time.
I've been trying to provide you the information.
Yeah. The information has to be more specific. If I did this whole thing in Arabic, what would that mean? Would that change their opinion? Or would you just throw it out on the ground and say, your Arabic sucks?
No, sir, they would be in contact with you in regards to the application.
Okay, you sound like you're just saying lines now.
Sir, I'm just providing you the information.
Is someone influencing you to say these lines?
No, sir.
What do you mean, no, sir?
No, I'm providing you the information that I have. In regards of applying for a passport and which documents that you would submit in. If you have additional documents that you're going to be submitting in, that's up to the agency of the final decision making in regards of making a passport.
processing center?
No.
Why not?
We are the information center.
You're saying the information center is two different things.
It is, sir. We are the National Passport Information Center for the Department of State. The processing is the agency that's going to be processing the application.
Would you like it if you started hearing shh, shh over the intercom? Would you like that?
No, sir.
Okay. Why would I like that? Why would you think that's appropriate to do to me?
Sir, I'm...
Why? Okay, that's already it. This is one thing. My weight is 155 pounds. Okay? I weigh 155 pounds. I'm not the... Who else is a male that weighs 155 pounds? I walk around at 170, maybe 175, 170, 175. Sometimes I can get down to 150 pounds, 155 pounds for an athletic competition. Okay? Why are you guys making those sounds like shh, shh, shh? You guys, that's not fair to me. And then let's talk about, that's not fair to me. So, what's wrong with athletics? I ran 7 miles yesterday in the morning. I lifted weights for an hour this morning. A day before that, I took a rest day on Sunday, but the day before that, I lifted weights and I did a whole bunch of sprints. And then before that, I was doing jiu-jitsu, rolling. And then before that, I ran 10 miles with weights in my hands. Not that this matters, but I'm just feeling frustrated that this kind of, you guys can treat someone with such neglect and abuse them like that, and then say you don't want to accept these documents and misspell their name on purpose and say all this mean and nasty stuff about them. I just don't think that's acceptable either. And if someone was saying that about you and I knew your real name, obviously I'd say, you know what, that isn't appropriate. I'm not going to engage in it. And on top of that, if you were beside me and we were friends, I would have to say, stop it now, or else there will be a consequence. Not start a fight over it and not start yelling in the airport inappropriate things and then telling them to go and do things, and then when I do it say, oh, I really wasn't that serious, I didn't say it, or I didn't mean all of that, like that sort of thing.
Okay, sir, is there any other further questions you have in regards to the passport? I would have to move on to another caller.
So is this being recorded for CONSEC?
Yes, sir. All calls are being recorded.
Do you think this will get to President Trump?
I'm not for sure, sir, but...
What about Joe Biden and President Trump debate? They only had 2 debates. Why didn't they have 3 debates? I wish they would have had 3 debates.
Sir, in regards to the, it's not in regards to the information about the passport. I will have to move on to a caller. I'll have to release the call.
You said that. You said that 15 minutes ago.
Sir, if there's not any other information I can provide you on that, then I can...
Well, we don't know what that is.
Sir, if you all have any other further questions on regards of a passport, applying for a passport, I will have to move on to another caller. I will be releasing the call.
That's fine. That's fine, but the whole thing is here. I'm going to fill this out, and I'm going to give you identification. Don't stop on number 1, because and everybody knows that's not true. nice day.
Thanks for calling.
Thanks.